I'm going to show a brief demo of how our easy system works. The premise is that the documents are going to be scanned in using an MFP, or multifunctional peripheral. The MFP is going to be sending the documents to a folder on the network or on a local PC that our software watches. So basically, we're going to simulate this scanning environment by just dragging the documents from one folder to the hot folder or the monitored folder in Windows. Before we do so, let me open up the documents and show what they are. We have the master answer sheet, which basically shows you the coding of the instructor's number, which in this case we're using all nines, but it could be whatever we design when we set the system up, and the particular test number. The test number identifies this answer sheet to belong to that test number. And the instructor fills out the correct answers on the answer sheet, and that will be the first document scanned into the system. The documents following it will be student tests. So in this case we have a student named Joe, and student number is 222. Again, the test number is 8755, which is matching the instructor's document and test number. This information can be pre-printed on the forms and given to students as far as the student name and the student number and the test number, or the test number can be pre-filled and the student can fill in the name. So we have flexibility on that area as well. Here's another sample answer sheet. Student name Jane, student number 123, test 8755 again, and it shows her answers. Now I'm going to simulate the scanning, as I mentioned, by just taking these items and just dragging them into the watched folder. You'll see them disappear in a second, and they're going to the program that's running at the bottom of the screen called Reader. And what it's doing is actually identifying the documents to match templates we've set up in the system. It's already read all three, and it's put it to the next step called Verifier. And what Verifier does is Verifier will go through the document, and it will determine if there are any areas that need to be fixed by manual input, such as perhaps a required question is not showing as having filled an answer, and you want to verify that fact. You can choose also to leave it blank, or in the case we're going to show you, there's a question that has two answers. So in this case, the operator just has to double click the batch that was scanned in, and we see on the screen a live view of the scanned in image, this is Joe's test. And we have Joe's answer for number 6 was two answers. He hit C and D. Now in real life, the student probably will, if they're using pencil, will erase one of the answers, or if they're using pen, probably will cross it out, or somehow indicate the correct answer. So let's assume that based upon the amount of shading on the digits, that C is the correct answer. So the system already thinks C is correct, so we leave it as such. And it tells you here there are too many marks. So that's how we know what happened with that question. And we just hit Tab, and it's going to take that answer. And that was the only item that needed to be verified in the batch. And right now, since batch is ready to be committed, the system will auto-commit the batch, which means it will automatically write the data to the database. Once the data is written to the database, then it is available to the processing software that the school may be using for keeping scores of the students, or we can put it through to a grading module of our own that will determine pass, fail, and grading and so forth. And it can also give you curves on how many students got any particular question right or wrong. It'll show any sort of deviations you want. Basically, it's very free form. So if you provide the formulas for us or the algorithms, we could definitely accommodate it in the reporting and in the back-end processing. Now that's one phase of this software. That's the scoring phase, the grading phase of the student papers. Now the next phase of the software would be if you wanted to use it for surveys that may be going home to parents or any sort of survey processing at all. And as you saw in the PowerPoint, we have the ability to be very flexible on our questions for the surveys. There's no designing a form and sending it out to print and so forth. What you do in our system is you basically on this template you would type in the questions you want, and also you have the ability to display the answer or not. So if you say don't display the answer and there's no question, then it won't have a placeholder for it. In this case, we have a few questions here. Then we have on the bottom we have multiple choice answer. As I am informed about school events through email, mail, flyer, telephone call, etc., cable. Um, and after this template is set up, it's a one-time deal, and you can set up as many templates as you like. So you're now limited to one template, and you can have as many active as you like. The barcode at the top of the form will get printed as a real barcode on the printout. And what that tells the system is this is form number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and it matches this particular questionnaire, so we know when it comes back what we're reporting on. What I'm going to do is I'm going to minimize this, and I'm going to show you a sample of a form that was designed. One of the samples of the parent survey that went out. And as you can see, this particular survey was barcoded on the top with a PDF 417 barcode, which is a very dense barcode, as we call it, which means it holds a lot of information. This particular questionnaire just has the questions right down the page, no fancy formatting, but it does have the various circles to fill in, the bubbles. Now we also have second survey. Now this survey matches the template I reviewed with you earlier, where it shows the questions with the standard bubbles, and you notice the blank space over here. That's because we said for question number 1, leave it blank. Let me bring it up just to review it with you. Hang on one second. Size that, and I can bring question number 1. So we get the size properly. So basically, if you look over at our questions, they match the layout. So you can see, if your eyes are really good, you can see that this says, let me make it a little larger here, that this basically matches the first question here, which is line number 2. Line number 1 is blank, which you can see is a blank line. And then it goes down, and you can see again, at the point of I feel my child is safe, there's another blank line, which is number 10, which is again blank, nothing displayed. And then you have your next set of fill-ins, which is 11, which is the question, and then 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, which are the fill-in answers. And they show in this form. So that's basically how the template matches from the design stage to the scan stage. Now what we'll do is we'll take these items and we'll pretend that a parent filled them out and that they will put into the MFP again. So we'll drag them over to the MFP mapped watched folder, and you'll see them disappear in a sec. And the same as the last group, they'll appear at the bottom in the reader window. It's going to say it's going to start distributing them and processing the items. So you have evaluating page 1 of 2 and evaluating 2 of 2, and they appear up here in the verifier. So if everything is read correctly, you're not going to have to do anything with them, and that's the case for most items. However, if the items do require some sort of manual verification, then you will need to look at them. And in this case, there is no manual verification required, so we will just the batch is complete, it's done, it's already exported, and here are the answers from the parent survey. So you see, oops, you have the barcode code as the first field, and then you have the grade of the children, the children in school, children home, um, and so forth, all the answers to the questions. And it goes right down the line. And these OMR values translate to actual questions, which will again match up based upon the form. This is great for collecting statistics, uh, parents' feelings, feedback. And also, what's really nice about this is that you can design the same survey in different languages. So there's no need to design different physical forms. Just type the values in the form based upon the other language. Most languages use standard character sets. However, there are some challenges when using Asian languages, and our system does support that. Even though most systems do not, we have worked around that issue, and we do support the Asian character set for the questions and the text next to the answer bubble, if there were text. So we again did overcome that, and it's a very useful system for various purposes, for collecting information, collecting statistics. Um, and also, if your community tends to be very internet driven, most communities have a mixture, but some tend to be more internet driven than others. The same information can be available to the parents online through a web-based form. And that's an add-on module to the system. But the benefit is that instead of a physical form going home with the student or being mailed and being received back and scanned in, the parent can actually fill the questionnaire out online. And in both cases, both the physical forms as well as the electronic version, we can track who responded, so we'll know if certain parents did not respond, and then we can contact them directly, and perhaps the student never brought the paperwork home, or it was lost in the mail or intercepted by the student, or what have you. So that about wraps up the demo. If you have any further questions, please feel free to contact us. The email address is on our website. And again, we love to hear from you. Thanks a lot for your time.